live on my channel, weekly live stream, weekly Tuesday live stream. And like I said before, I'm going to be going live for a nice, cozy chit chat sort of live stream every Tuesday around this time. I'm 5 minutes late, but it is what it is. My hands are pretty full nowadays. Just yesterday, my husband gave me the leads for the track that I'm working on right now. And the track that I'm working on right now is called Turquoise and Lazuli Courtyard. That's the track I was working on for the past month or so. And that's going to be the 10th single. Why do I keep saying signal? I don't know. It's going to be the 10th single from the Sun City album. And initially I thought that I would release this song back in summer. The last single I published was like in June or something like this. And then, then I had a lot of things to do. And then I wanted to kind of chill and relax because it was summer. And before that I was going pretty hard and I was publishing singles every frigging month. So I decided that I can allow myself to chill. Well, not exactly to chill. I needed to catch up on a whole lot of things. And I also needed to, I need to kind of, really allow myself to meditate on the album, on the story, and find the right tune, the right melodies, the right music for this particular piece. So it takes time. I know there is this opinion or recommendation by various coaches who say you should be able to write, a song a day and all this, and in order to make it in the music industry. And I'm like, yeah, I can do it, certainly, but I don't see a point. I certainly don't see a point. Because, if you're writing standard songs, then of course you can write a song per day, no problem. But that is not the intended purpose here, and I'm working on a concept album. And so, hello, whoever's there. George, yo, hello. So, because I'm not working on kind of standard songwriting thing, but I'm writing a concept album, so I have to take my time. Oza, hi. Hence, I was going strong for about half a year, and I was publishing a single every single month. And this summer, I almost burned out, so I decided that I want to calm down a little bit. Why don't I sing a song then? Well, I'm using this little mic, and I did not exactly intend to sing a song on this live stream. That's why I'm not singing a song. Hi, not Anna. Hello. Tell me, guys, are you my subscribers or are you not my subscribers? I'm just curious. This message is held for review. Let's see. What is there? I'm curious. I'm curious. Oh my freaking God. Yeah. Potentially inappropriate messages. Oh my God. Yeah. I did not intend to sing songs, on these live streams on Tuesdays because, I just don't have the setup for it. I'd like to do something like this. I'd like to, sing some songs and play some piano, maybe play some guitar, do things like this. But as of right now, I don't have the setup. And I really don't want to deliver crappy quality. I want at least the sound to be okay, And I think that I sort of stepped it up a little bit, at least with a mic like this, because the first live stream that I did was just with the phone, And I used to do live streams like this on Instagram just with the phone. And then I would listen back and I would be like, oh god, this is crappy sound, really. Um, full send it. What do you mean, George? Michael Pitsley. Boo! Boo to you, Michael. So anyways, what I was saying is that you just go for it. I don't know. I'm kind of not prepared. I'm not in the mood. That's not what I was aiming for, frankly. So I don't feel like I want to sing anything as of today. Woke up late. My voice is kind of like this. I have this nice rasp right now, which is fine. If I was recording something, if I had some vocals to record today, and I would, go for something with a little bit of a crack, that would be cool. I could use this kind of rasp. But I wasn't going to record any vocals today. I was actually going to, hop up here. I wanted to say that I thought that I was going to drop my new single on September 22nd, but upon further review, I think that I don't want to rush this, and I will drop my next single on October 22nd. I think that would make more sense. Because then I want to get back onto at least trying to drop a single every month. And that will give me some time to work on the next single. And the next single, I don't even have the music for it yet. It's probably going to be a heavier piece I got to come up with some cool guitar riffs. And I want to write really good lyrics for it, because I kind of have to carry the story. What genre do you sing? George, it's a blend of metal, some sort of metal. It's kind of proggy because it's conceptual, so there's a multitude of things. Structurally it's proggy, but there's death metal there is clean vocals, stuff like this, some Middle Eastern influences, some various flavors of world music, this kind of thing. Do you like? And then I don't see what it is. There is something green there. What is it? Thank you. Check out my music, George. You'll see what I mean. It's I do have all sorts of music in my catalog, and you can find it here on YouTube, or you can look elsewhere. I do have pop songs. I do have heavier sort of new metal things, some electronic metal stuff, some hardcore stuff. But what I'm doing right now on this album is sort of a blend of many things, and so conventionally it's sort of proggy. It allows me to scream. I love to scream. Yeah, I love to scream, and I love to sing, and I love to do various weird ass things, with vocals and with guitars. But it takes some time. This album that I'm on, Sound City album, it's kind of an important album to me personally, because it's based off of a dream that I had back in 2013. And it was, I see dreams every time I sleep, but that dream in 2013, that was mind-boggling. Do you like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Well, by default, I'm neutral, I guess. I've never been to Saudi Arabia, so I can't tell you if I like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I wish I could travel there, and then I would tell you. By default, I'm kind of neutral, you guys seem to be cool. I like Russia. I'm from Russia. I live in the United States nowadays, but I'm originally from Russia. I certainly do love Russia. But that's because I've been there, and I've been to southern France. And I have some French friends, so I do like France. I guess to the extent that I know France, but I can't just, make a sweeping generalization and say, oh, I like everything French, no. What about my dreams? So, in 2013, I had an accident during a surgery. It was horrible, devastating, and I didn't really get any post-surgical help after those surgeries. And so just about 5 days after those surgeries, I see this extremely vivid dream. I fell asleep in the afternoon for like an hour and a half. And I literally woke up almost a different person. It was so, I don't know, it was like from a different world, frankly. It was like a vision, not like a regular dream, not even like a regular vivid dream. It's as if I lived a whole life there and then woke up and everything was different. You know what I mean? So I had to work on recovering my voice for about 7 years. My recurrent nerve got damaged during that surgery, so I couldn't sing. And it was a long journey. It was a very long journey. I had to fight for every single note. I had to reteach myself all over again to speak and to sing. And the whole process took roughly about 7 years. So only in 2019, 2020, I was able to go back to singing again and being able to hold the pitch. And then work on my range, to kind of, because when I lost my voice, my range was like this. It was maybe 2-3 notes, and it was hoarse, and I whispered. I couldn't speak. One of my vocal cords was paralyzed and it couldn't work. So then I had to get myself from there. And this is before I lost my voice. I had a range of like 4.5 octaves, 5 octaves. I could do all sorts of things. I could do yodeling, I could growl, I could scream. I did all sorts of, different tints of clean vocals. I taught vocals for 10 years. And then there's that surgery. The surgeon damages my recurrent nerve. I lose my voice, I lose my job, and I'm unable to sing. And 3 doctors tell me that I should forget about singing ever again. Imagine how does that feel? When you put, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into your passion earlier in your life, and that's what you want to do, and you aspire to be, really good at this, and you work on this, and then just in one day, all of this goes down. So that was hard, but I'm stubborn. And so I kept building gradually. I refused to believe that I'm not going to sing, that I'm not going to speak. I, wanted to return. And so that was that first dream that I saw after that surgery and after I lost my voice. And while I was recovering, I was remixing my old albums. Just pulling old stems together, doing a better job, as far as rearranging, remixing, maybe re-recording some instrumental parts. And that was going on for like 5 or 6 years. I was doing exactly that. And then when all of that was done, now finally, I got to the point where I can take that story from 2013 and I can make it into an album, and I'm going to write a book about this. I am painting a series of paintings, and that's just the first series of oil paintings that I'm painting based off of this story. And it looks like I'm going to be on this story for quite a while, probably for months and months, and the following years. I'm going to finish the music album, and I'm going to paint several series of oil paintings, and then I'm going to write a book about this. So currently I'm writing a blog post on WordPress where I kind of lay out the basic plot. So George says, that's rough. Glad you found yourself again. Thank you, George. It was rough. But like I said, I'm stubborn. So you might want to check out my WordPress blog. I'm making posts. God damn it, what is this thing? I'm making posts every Wednesday. And it's kind of a generic sort of plot overview. I'm not going into too much detail and not exploring the bigger picture of what is going to be in the book. Not going into like side stories and other characters. It's just razor sharp, just the main character, the protagonist, and where are we going with this, and what's happening. WordPress related to your website, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, George. How can I reach out to you? Where are you actually? Oh, that's crazy. I work for a WordPress development agency. That's weird. So I'm sitting here doing a YouTube live stream, and all of a sudden, I just happen to have a WordPress blog, and all of a sudden there's someone called George who shows up and says, oh, by the way, I work for a WordPress development agency. Interesting. Now, that's quite a coincidence, I got to tell you. Well, thank you, George. I don't know where I can find you. If you want to check out my WordPress blog, I can't pull from memory the exact link, of course, but you can go to my community tab and just kind of scroll through my posts. I have paintings there, and I also have posts from my articles. Like last Wednesday, I've posted the latest post. So check it out. Bye. Guys, thank you for your likes. And I see there are 3 people hanging out there. I don't know who are they. I know that one of them is George, most likely. I don't know who else is there. I'd like to know, are any of you guys my subscribers, or are you not my subscribers? I'm doing this Tuesday live stream for the 3rd time, and I still can't find out. Are my subscribers watching this live stream, or no? Or is it just other people who are not my subscribers? Now there's one person. Anyways, what I want to say is that this 10th single, I'm gonna release it on October 22nd. I just want to give myself more time. I don't want to rush the music. Moreover, I'm painting oil paintings for the cover art of every single. So that takes time too. And the painting that I'm currently painting, that's the cover art for this 10th single. And it's a difficult painting. I've never painted anything like this before. It's challenging. I want to do a good job of this. And my husband just gave me the stems for the lead guitars, which I've asked him. I gave him a couple of spots in the song where I asked him to play some lead guitar. And he just gave me the stems yesterday, so I have to mix that in. And it will take some time, and I don't want to rush this process. I want to do a good mix and a good master of this track. And then I will schedule it to drop on October 22nd, because I hope that I will be able to release the 11th single on November 22nd. You see what I mean? But if I want to really do this, I should give myself time. Because, right now I have to wrap up, mixing the 10th single, and then immediately pick up the guitar, and go into writing the next one. And I have to think it out. I have to look for good melodies, for juicy riffs and these kind of things. I don't want to do a sloppy job. I never like doing a sloppy job. I really don't like it. Hey, who's growling there? Tigrick, come over here. Tigrick, идем ко мне, малыш. I have cats, and someone is growling at someone down there under the table. Hey, Tigrick. So, yeah, things take time. On the last live stream, by the way, I mentioned that I left Spotify for a variety of reasons, including but not limited to that Spotify is apparently experimenting with their own AI, and they're rolling out things like an AI-generated rock band. To me, this is atrocious, really. I'm thinking to myself, God damn it. You put all this effort, me personally, as an indie artist, as an indie musician and an indie painter, right? I put all this work, I put all this creativity, all these intentional things into my songs. I do it all by myself. All the writing, all the lyrics, all the vocals, all the guitar recordings, well, except, I ask my husband to play the bass guitar and some leads. And sometimes I play the leads. It's a ton of work. And then I put it up, I publish that track, and it goes to a place like Spotify where they are teaching their AI models based off of, the works of other artists. And that is just insane to me. I don't understand, why should I just give away my work? For what? So, you know what? I said it a week ago. I left Spotify, and if other platforms will do something like this, I'll pull away from there too. As of right now, I have virtually all of my music, all of my catalog is in Bandcamp. A large portion of it is on YouTube, right here, and also on Jamendo. That's the other thing that I don't know if you guys know. Anyway, someone is hanging out there. Thank you for being here with me. Ask me questions. If you guys have something to ask me, shoot. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to say. That's another announcement. I just keep remembering, things that I haven't said. I have a new print in my Etsy store. The original painting is not available yet because I didn't frame it. But the print called Riding the Tiger is already available. The link to my Etsy store can be found on any of my videos, any of my latest videos, or you can just, again, go to my community tab, and there is, like, literally today I made a repost of one of my paintings. You can click that link and it will get you to my Etsy store, and go to, where is it? In spiritual, mythical, or mystical, how do I call that section? Mystical, spiritual, whatever, history. In that category, I have a new print with a tiger and a girl. And after I'm done with this oil painting, with this difficult one, I'm gonna, I think I want to paint something Halloween themed, but still something that is embedded in my storytelling. That's gonna be interesting. I have a couple ideas. Some people will find it very triggering. Other people will find it adorable, but that's normal. That's how people are. Someone is hanging out there. You too, guys. Who are you? Tell me something. I've been talking for like 25 minutes, non-stop, basically. And by the way, tell me if the sound is okay. Am I yelling too loudly, or is it fine? This is a clip-on mic, and I put it down here so I don't have to clip it anywhere. Four people. Hello, guys. Just went on for 24 minutes. almost 25 minutes talking about, making all the important announcements. So now I'm kind of just sitting here and, tell me something, ask me something. 7 people. Hello, everybody. I think I'll reiterate once again. I want to invite everybody. First of all, I want to invite everybody to subscribe to my channel because I'm painting, I'm doing paint through videos all the time. I'm posting videos every 3 days. There is a paint through video. Then there is a lyric video. And then there is a members only video. And usually it's a charcoal sketch or something like that. Something not for the general public. And yes, you can become also a member of my channel. If you so desire, there are some perks, there is some exclusive content, members only. I'm kind of surprised not to see the regulars here today on this live stream. George just mysteriously disappeared. Oops, I dropped my mic. George mysteriously disappeared, but that's okay. People randomly hop on and then people randomly hop off. There's gonna be another, not counting this single that will drop on October 22nd, there's gonna be 5 more songs. And I will try to release the whole album by spring next year. I will try to. Don't know if I'll pull it off. It kind of all depends. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. These last 5 songs are going to be sort of on the difficult side because they have to carry the weight of the climax of the story. So I kind of have to build up to the end of the album, pivot towards the end of the album, and keep in mind all of these developments musically. Because story-wise, I know what's going to happen, and I know where my character will be by the end of the story. But as far as the music goes, it's kind of tedious, to write it all out. And then actually to perform it, to write all the lyrics. Because that's one big challenge of working on an album like this, is that these are not separate songs. I mean, certainly they work as separate songs, but there is an overarching story. And so in every song, I have to kind of push the needle and lead the character further on and tell the story, actually. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's not. Part of why I'm writing these WordPress articles is because I want to provide more context. Because if you just listen to the songs and read the lyrics, you will get just, I don't know, maybe 5% of the story. Something like this. The articles provide, I think, another 10% of the story. And then the other, what is that? The other 85% of the story, that will show up in the book. Alongside the paintings, of course. And there's going to be a lot of paintings. Lots and lots of paintings. People are hopping on and hopping off. One of my guests is drinking water there and kind of just laying by the bowl like this. Let me try to show you. His name is Wolfgang. His name is Wolfgang, He is an orange cat. And there's another orange cat. That's his dad, by the way, and his name is Dean. And they usually squabble. That's Wolfgang. That's the painting that I'm working on right now, by the way. It's not finished. Painted for about 40 minutes last night, and then I was falling asleep by the easel, so I had to stop. This is the other painting. That's a finished one. Standing right there, a portrait. So yeah, and this painting, this is for the single that I'm gonna drop on. Oh no, this is for the 11th single. That's what it is. That's what it's for. Thank you, George. Hey, be my guest. I'm inviting you to go check out my Etsy store. I have all of my available paintings there. And here on my YouTube channel, if you subscribe, you will see my paint throughs. Oftentimes, I have the paint through video of a new painting here on my YouTube channel, and then after a while, when the painting is dry and I take some pictures, I then set it up as a print or as an original in the Etsy store. So if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're basically going to see everything as it shows up. Oh, thank you for complimenting my work. More people are hanging out there. I was kind of curious, who are you people? 3 people. George, you're probably still hanging there, right? I'm just guessing because, you know, you're the one who asked me this, who told me that's a pretty cool painting. After a pause, and before that, you said that if I need any help with WordPress, feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, you're here. Are you my subscriber, George? Or how did you click on my live stream? Where did it come from? Was it suggested in your feed, or tell me? I'm curious. Because YouTube is a mystery to me. You know, I suspect that for the longest time I was shadow banned for a few controversial things that I said. Oh, Christina says hi. Hi. Hi, Christina. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Thank you. Randomly came up on my feed. Wonderful. Okay. I was shadow banned for a long while on YouTube, and judging by my stats, I was shadow banned for about 2 years. And that is because I said a few controversial things in the past, and I guess, you know, I was punished by the algorithm. So then I wiped out a whole ton of old content, and, you know, I stopped doing what I was previously doing, and I kind of switched gears, and now I'm just an artist. Just an artist. As far as my opinions and views on a lot of things, you know, I might know a few things, but I'm certainly not going to talk about it on YouTube. That's not the right place for these conversations. Let's put it this way. You know, we learn as we move on, I guess, and I certainly learned that some places are not very good for expressing views. YouTube might be good for other things. Like just posting art stuff. That's what I'm doing nowadays. I'm kind of surprised. Don't you have any questions to ask me? Ask me something. Not necessarily a fan of Ozzy. I'm very respectful of the old school rockers, including Ozzy, of course, um, and others. I didn't grow up with Ozzy's music, so I can't claim that, I'm a fan. Um, but I deeply respect Black Sabbath, and other bands of that era. Because without these bands, there would have been no newer generation of metal music and rock music. Like, my husband is a fan of Rush, for example. Rush is way before my time. That's not my thing. But in the early 2000s, I was exposed to Dream Theater. And that is because, I had musical education. And I was trying to put together a band, and back then with a friend, we were trying to, do something. And we discovered Dream Theater, and we were fascinated with that band for a long time. And so later on, I learned that Dream Theater actually were influenced by Rush, who were before them. You know what I mean? And other bands as well. And it's kind of the same thing with Ozzy. I'm not a fan. I can't say I'm a fan. And a lot of things are kind of a little too dated for me. I was growing up and I was heavily influenced by, well, Nirvana, sure. But I'm a Russian millennial. I'm a Muscovite. And when I was 12 years old, I first heard Queen. But that same year, in 1991, Freddie died. So what got imprinted is the first song that I heard by Queen was The Show Must Go On. And I've seen on the then Russian TV, I've seen the video clip. And the music seemed so sad to me, and I didn't quite understand why adult people were so sad and what was that scary thing that he died of. I was a kid. But it sort of got imprinted that somehow, there was that overwhelming sadness, And then there was Nirvana, of course, there was Radiohead, Slipknot, can't live without Slipknot. Then a little later, also Marilyn Manson, Cold Chamber, System of a Down, these kind of bands. And then on top of this, there was also Joe Satriani. Joe Satriani is one of my favorite guitar players, frankly. John Petrucci, A Liquid Tension Experiment, Dream Theater, of course. Generally speaking, some progressive music, progressive metal music. Then some more metal bands, a variety of things. Meshuggah, nowadays Ginger also, but I still do listen to Dream Theater. I still love Slipknot, even though Slipknot is kind of very simplistic compared to, progressive metal, but I love Slipknot. And I used to sing Slipknot songs and scream Slipknot songs for vocal practice. And I used to do that for I would go into vocal practice for 2 hours on a daily basis in the 2000s. So I would start out for warm-up with songs by Placebo and Radiohead. Then I would switch gears to singing Dream Theater songs, whatever I could sing at the time, or songs by Garbage. One of the bands that influenced me a lot is Garbage with Shirley Manson. And then after that, I would switch gears off and I would go for a whole album by Slipknot. Think like Iowa, for example, his self-titled album. And I still do remember a lot of songs by heart, Slipknot songs. And some I don't. Frankly, I just don't listen to as much music nowadays because I mostly write, and I was writing music and I was composing songs for roughly 20 years. So I have a sizable discography. Looking back, I think that, damn it, I could have done a better job. What do you think of Eloy Casagrande, the new Slipknot drummer? I think he's cool. I think my husband and I, we have a kind of divided opinion on this. On the one hand, I'll of course never forget Joey Jordison. Joey Jordison is just Joey Jordison, and I still kind of feel really sad for how early he died. That was not supposed to happen, really. But then there is this Eloy Casagrande, pardon me. My husband says that he's playing his way too dynamic, like he's slamming into the drums and he's doing just a lot of this extra work. My husband has musical education too, and he was educated in percussion and drumming. So that's kind of his primary thing. And he's like, you don't need to do all of this. It's like excessive, and it's not energy saving. Like, why is he doing this? I don't know. I sort of like it. I think he's cool. I don't quite understand the thing about why did Slipknot fire the previous drummer? Why did they have to do this? But frankly, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I know that Slipknot as a band, they were screwed over by their label because when they signed the original contract way back, the fine print basically made it so that they weren't earning a lot, the Slipknot band members. And so my understanding is that led to a lot of infighting and at the very least to some tensions within the band. And then, Slipknot musicians were kind of scraping, really. Then finally that contract was over, then they could move on. So what are they up to nowadays? I have no idea. And frankly, I don't have any insider information on this, even though I could try to inquire, but I just don't know. As for the musicians, the lineup, he's a damn fine musician. He's a damn fine drummer, Eloy Casagrande. That's all I can say. But, generally speaking, I just don't want to play this game. I'm laughing at this all the time. You go to a Facebook group and there's like a Dream Theater fan group, right? And you have people like, oh, the real Dream Theater was when Mike Portnoy was back then, and Mike Mangini, he sucks. He's not the real Dream Theater. He's no, Mike Mangini doesn't suck. He plays damn fine, He plays really well. Mike Mangini. I mean, frankly, both Mike Portnoy and Mike Mangini are excellent drummers. I certainly can't drum like this. They're objectively upper class drummers, the highest grade. So I kind of don't get people who are sitting there and they're either shitpiling on Mike Portnoy, like, well, Mike Portnoy is like the oldies or whatever, we don't care, we like Mike Mangini more. And all these stupid discussions about when did the real Dream Theater end, and it's the same thing in a lot of fans for different bands. Like, people sit there and they discuss like, oh, the real Slipknot was over when Joey Jordison died or when Paul Gray died. No, it didn't end there. So, there's nothing wrong with hiring a new drummer or a new guitar player. I understand why it sort of sucks on a certain level, but I don't know. It's a mixed bag of feelings, frankly. On one hand, I'm glad that Slipknot is alive and kicking and they're doing their thing with Eloy nowadays. On the other hand, I'm kind of bewildered. Why do they have to kick out their previous drummer like this? And then, of course, it certainly sucks that Joey is gone. And Paul Gray is gone too. But then also nobody's getting younger. So I remember in interviews, Corey was complaining about aching knees and stuff like this, and that they just can't do as many shows, and it's a lot of physical stress, on the musicians. They just can't do as much as they were able to do. Eloy, however, seems pretty damn tough, that I can say. I certainly want to invite you, George, to check out my music, and I don't want to be kind of spammy with this, but since we're talking about this, you can go and check out some of my music after the live stream, of course. And I think you'll trace some of the influences of the bands and artists that I've mentioned. A little bit of Queen, a little bit of Radiohead, a little bit of Placebo, a little bit of Slipknot. Well, not a little bit, frankly, it kind of varies from album to album, but I was heavily influenced by Slipknot at some point. And I still am. I think I just like that sort of punchy energy. It resonates with me a lot. Then Bring Me the Horizon as well. To a certain degree, Sempiternal, the 2013 album, I think it's a damn fine album. I like it. Production and the music is good. I actually did a cover version of Shadow Moses from the Sempiternal album by Bring Me the Horizon, but then I had to scrape it. I've unpublished a lot of my cover songs because they were too expensive to maintain. I had a whole album of cover songs that I put out from different artists who influenced me. And then, the bills are just, kept coming in, and I thought, yeah, whatever. Let's pull it off. Thank you, George. Oh, and I had a cover version of My Plague by Slipknot. One of my favorite songs, My Plague by Slipknot from the Iowa album. I love that song. It's a damn cool song. Damn it. And on my YouTube channel, as of right now, I still do have a very old cover version of Prelude 3.0 from the Subliminal Verses album. That cover is still hanging there. But that's like from a long, long time ago. I believe from like 2011 or something. It's been, what, 14 years ago, I guess. Check out my latest music, actually, because, my older stuff, even like from 2-3 years ago, I was trying to record my own drums, and well, first of all, I'm not a drummer, but okay, that aside, I'm doing everything, and I mean like writing the music, I'm writing the lyrics, I'm trying to play all my guitar parts, I'm singing all of my vocal parts. I'm asking my husband to play the bass parts, but sometimes I do actually play my bass parts too, even though I'm not a bass player. But then I also have to mix all of this, and I've never been a sound engineer. I kind of had to learn to do these things, but it's a challenge. Hey, Alex. Nice to meet you. I had to sort of learn to do these things, and I have ears. So I can hear that I'm lacking in knowledge, when it comes to a whole a whole lot of things pertaining to how do you mix this and that, how do you work with compressors, how do you work with EQing things, how do you do dynamic processing for different instruments or different types of instruments, how do you go about vocals. It's a science, and I'm an artist, but it requires some special talent and some special skills and special brains to be able to be a good sound engineer. Not to mention that it also requires some very good equipment, and I'm limited in that regard. I have what I have, but honest to God, I'm trying to do the best I can. I always tried to do the best I can with whatever I had available to me. And, so my latest tracks, when you're going to go and listen to them, that's me I'm trying to do my best. I hear and I know that it's far from perfect. I'm my own record label. I'm my own producer. I'm my own mixing engineer and mastering engineer. So I'm trying to get better. With every single, I'm trying to learn. I have to spend time, reading about things. How do you do this? And how do you do that? All of those things. But on the other hand, I really do believe that it lends to more authenticity. And frankly, I wish more people were doing this kind of thing. Because I kind of see it problematic. I think a lot of people, with the proliferation of AI technologies, a lot of people just rely on the AI to do the job for them. And it ends up being generic. And I believe in authenticity. And I think it's kind of important because we are living in a very digitized age, and it becomes more and more digitized, and a lot of things are automated and a lot of things are artificial. And I think as humans, we have to work on preserving our humanity in a lot of ways, not just artists. It's important to be human and to be authentic. But that requires work. It requires extra something here and extra something there, and actually saying the things that you mean to say, and saying them in a real, authentic way. It might be imperfect, but at least it's real, I'm practicing that same thing with my painting. I repeat this occasionally, but I go through the entire process myself. Again, I make my own underframes, I stretch my own canvases, I prep my own canvases myself. And of course I do, the painting from the ground up. And I do my own frames. I'd like to do more. I'd like to have, special equipment to do some beautiful frames, and, to just make the manual work easier. Of course, I'd love to have that, but it is what it is for now, and that's okay. But it's genuine, and it's all human-made from start to finish. It's not something that you can go and buy on Amazon. With all due respect to Amazon, Amazon has a lot of useful stuff, but it's not mass-produced. And that's kind of the point. It's not mass-produced. It's unique. Alex said, hey, and then never said anything else. I dread to ask Alex, why was the only thing that you said, hey, and then you said nothing? I probably scared you off. Right, well, I'm a Muscovite, I'm Russian, I'm probably scary. Aren't I? Am I scary? Anybody? Or no? Or am I not scary? I'm kind of laughing my ass off. There are a few Instagram accounts who are doing like Slavic themed comedy. And I'm sort of laughing my ass off at how there's this perception that Russians are scary. There are, you know, if you hear Russian speech somewhere, someone had a comedy skit about this in New York, about that if you really want to repel criminals and thugs and this kind of stuff, you just have to start either speaking Russian on the streets of New York, or you just have to use Russian accent. And it acts like a repellent, and people just do it because nobody wants to mess with Russians, you know? So I know that culturally there is this perception that Russians are very scary. I speak without a Russian accent. I can turn it on, of course. But you tell me, am I a scary Russian or am I not a scary Russian? It's not that I'm trying to be scary or anything. Just kind of making a joke. This is probably going to be the last question that I have for you. There's like 4 minutes left. And then after this, I'm going to hop off from here and I'm going to go do some mixing. And then I'm going to pull out my laptop over here. I'm sitting in the garage. I'm going to pull my laptop here and I will proceed to write the article, which will drop tomorrow on my WordPress blog. I want to invite everybody to check out my WordPress blog. I'm publishing stuff there every frigging Wednesday. Come on, guys. If you have one more question, something you want to ask before I leave. I'm going to hop off in like 3 minutes. In whichever case, I want to thank everybody for showing up. Thank you for engaging with me. George, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the nice little chit chat. Thank you for the likes. If any of you subscribe, thank you for subscribing. It helps out my channel a great big deal. Thank you. And of course, I want to wish everybody to be safe and wishing everybody a good day. We're having some, it's warm. It's really damn warm outside here. Let me show you. Sitting in the garage, there you see, it's basically summer down here in Kentucky. It's basically summer. It's really warm. Next Tuesday, I'll show up about this same time, about 4 o'clock p.m. So if you want to talk about something, if you want to discuss something, you want to ask some questions or, you know, whatever, please show up next Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'll have a live stream. And if you don't want to miss a live stream, or if you want to explore my content, you want to explore my music, my paint through videos and such, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to have special access to perks and special videos and special posts, then become a member. That's all I have to say. And I think with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with me today. Didn't realize that I tipped the mic again. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you next week. And just when I'm about to leave, there are like all of a sudden 7 people. Bam. Anybody want to say something? I was just about to press the exit button. Just about to press the exit button. And all of a sudden 7 people are here. I don't know how to explain this. Sort of comes and goes. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Love y'all. Subscribe to my channel for more content. And you'll see me next week on Tuesday around 4 o'clock. Ciao.